welcome back to our coverage here of the Irish Open 2022. I'm joined by David Lappin. Now talk to us about your tournament. It was a bit swingy yesterday, is that right?
Very swingy, yeah. I did that thing where I spent an entire day one ending with 30k, which is the starting stack. So basically wasted a day of my life. Came into day two, immediately got things going, got up to 90, fell back to 40, got up to 200, back to 50, back to 200, then got put on the feature table when I think I had about 100, survived the bubble, just skin in my teeth kind of stuff, really cockroached my way in, then got very fortunate right after the bubble to get a double up. I got it in with the worst hand against Pearl Dan Stacey, and then Dermot got me shortly after, so that was, it was fair. The run out was cruel, but it was fair. He had the best hand.
The bubble was pretty quick and painless, I thought.
Yeah, we lost 3 people on the hand that the bubble burst. So it sort of was like, it's not the bubble. Oh, you're already through. Yeah, it was good that way, I suppose. Yeah, no pain. Although, if you're a tournament poker player, you kind of have to learn to love the pain. You have to be a masochist, I think. Yeah. So I kind of do like an excruciating bubble personally.
And how's the rest of the Irish Open going for you? You're jumping into something today?
Yeah, I'm going to jump in the mystery bounty today. That's sort of a unique one, or I guess the win have popularised it a little bit. I know the World Series wanted to do one of these a couple of years ago before the pandemic, but it's definitely going to be a fun tournament. Mystery bounty might win the big one. We're not all, Pádraig O'Neill. We can't always pull out the 100k check, but I'm going to hopefully pull out one of those checks.
So what does mystery bounty actually mean?
Well, I actually had a word with the TD before this because I wanted to know how it's structured, because these things do get structured a little differently sometimes, and he said that everyone who makes the money pretty much, then the bounties will be in play. So they divide up 2/3 of the prize pool for the bounty pool, make one very big bounty, make a couple of good bounties, a couple of slightly not as good ones, and then everyone else who's in the field, there is a bounty attached, but it might be smaller. You obviously want to pull the big one, so that's sort of the lottery factor of it all.
Okay, it sounds quite fun, to be fair.
Yeah, no, it is. It definitely throws a bit of lottery into it, which I guess, we're in a room full of gamblers, so that makes sense.
And being back here after a few years, has it changed much? What's it like being in the room?
I think it's better than ever. You guys have obviously done, features at various different angles. We're pointing at the poker room here. You see the numbers in the room. Yeah. You see how beautifully dressed it is as well. So I think they've pulled out all the stops to make it a really great experience for everybody. We've missed live poker. It's been devastating having to do virtual felt stuff equivalents of these kind of great marquee tournaments. So I'm really happy to be back, and it's been a fun week.
And there was bit of controversy earlier as one of our players, well, Mr. Will Kassouf. I want to hear your opinions on him, because I think they're quite strong opinions.
Well, look, he has a scandal in his past. He did Palm Chips in the Grosvenor Casino several years ago. I would view him with suspicion, to be honest. When he's at my table, I'm keeping a close eye on my own stack. I think, he's deft with the palming, and, guys need to watch out. The genuine PSA out there, if you're at the table with him, you should be careful, because I don't trust the guy, and I had to play poker with him for 2 half days during this festival so far, and I had to keep my eye on my stack at all times.
I mean, he's putting on the bravado though. He's still going at it like he always does.
Yeah, he's sort of a David Brentish character in poker at some level. When you go back to that World Series coverage from a few years ago, he was sort of a tragic figure at some level. I know people enjoyed the banter. I think most people who had to sit with him didn't. To see someone like Kenny Hallert, who's a great pal of mine and a very, even-keeled, steady guy, be as annoyed with the person as he was and as happy to see William bust that main event as he was, I think speaks volumes for how much he was driving everyone crazy. He does, we were having a lovely day 1C, I think it was, before he arrived, and then the talk, which is not original. It's the same 7 catchphrases over and over again. He does your head in, but the worst part of it is he slows the game down terribly. We played half the hands once he arrived. It just creates a horrible atmosphere at the table. Nobody enjoys it. Nobody thinks he's funny. And I just, I wish he was blacklisted, to be honest.
I mean, we got to have a few bad boys, loudmouths in poker, or it'll be a bit boring, no?
Well, look, it certainly makes it interesting. It certainly creates controversy, and I'm sure people will write articles. I might write one myself about it. But at the end of the day, you'd rather be in a safer environment without people that you feel might, put their hand in your pocket.
All right. Okay. Moving on to the podcast. How's it all going?
It's been great. We've gone from strength to strength every year. We've been so lucky. Darren and I have put so much work into it, I suppose, over 7 years now. It actually started, not here. We were in the Burlington, of course. That was the first time we ever did the chip race, and it was, I think we were maybe week 3 of the show ever. So the third episode was from the Burlington that week, and here we are 7 years later, still going. I think we've made maybe 120 episodes, and the show's gone from strength to strength. Big names, big audience these days. We probably go out to anything from 16 to 20,000 people in an average week, and that's great. Just to have that sort of feedback and to walk around a poker room in America. I walked through a parking garage in America, and a 50-year-old woman ran up to me and said, "Are you the podcast guys?" to me and Dara, and she was from like Wyoming or something, and she was like, "I listen to you guys. This is great." And you're like, "Okay, that's we're delighted. That's the best feedback we can get to be content creators. Really, while it might help pay the bills to some degree, we're sponsored pros and Unibet love us to make that content. The best thing is the feedback from audience members who like it, so it's great."
Who's been your most entertaining or surprisingly interesting guest on there?
Entertaining, but not surprising, because I knew she would be. Our 100th show went out about this time last year with Doug Polk, who is obviously fantastic, and he gave us a great interview. We had a strategy section with Ape Styles, Jonathan Van Fleet, one of the great poker minds, one of the OG poker online guys, and he was incredible. But our other guest on that show, and we wanted it to be special for us as well, was Annette O'Carroll, who's one of my favourite people in Irish poker, one of my favourite people in poker, full stop. And she gave us an absolutely majestic interview, as I knew she would. She'd been on the show once before, and we thought, well, no better person to have back to make the 100th show special than her. And yeah, she told some great stories. She has an incredible insight into the game. She's seen poker over, I don't want to give away her age, but 30 plus years for sure. And yeah, she just has amazing insights, a phenomenal character.
Okay, we'll have to catch up with it. We wish you all the best of luck
Thanks
going
so
into this mystery bounty and the rest of the Irish Open. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Laura. Appreciate it.